Hi folks, today we're down in the Baja, down in San Jose del Cabo, and I'm going to do a little review on the 2022 Honda Talon. It's a 4-seater side-by-side made by Honda. It's got a dual clutch transmission, a 6-speed. It's got paddle shifters here, up and down, and it's also got a low range, high, and when you have it in high you can just leave it there. You don't need to change gears. It'll do all the shifting for you if you want. It's really pretty cool. It changes gears really good. It just snaps through the gears. You don't have to ever worry about replacing any belts or anything like that. It's Honda built, so you know it's going to be pretty tough. It's got 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive, and you can shift that on the fly, but I recommend just shifting it when it'll only really shift when it slows down to first or second gear. And then it shows it up on the display here, which I'm going to see if it'll come up on the display. It shows the 4-wheel drive up in here. It's got a digital display here for the speed, RPMs, and it's pretty neat really, because you can just change it from miles to kilometers an hour, which we have down here. It's got launch mode. You put it into high, have the launch mode on, pull the two paddle shifters in, pull them both in, foot on the brake and then foot on the accelerator, and then just drop it and it'll take off. It's pretty cool. And then it's got adjustments here for whether you're going to be running sport or just be running the paddle shifters as well. Don't know, I haven't really played with that much. It's got a cigarette lighter thing here. Stuff tends to fall out of it if you're going over rough roads, so work that one out. I'll probably put some sort of USBs in it. It's got plenty of room here for switches. You can upgrade and put spotlights and stuff on. Adjustable grab handle. It's got a glove compartment in here, pretty handy. Not lockable, but whatever. It's adjustable steering column. You can also adjust the shocks down over here too. It's got the Fox live valve shocks. You can put it onto sport, which stiffens it up, or normal. And then headlights, high and low beam, which is sort of kind of handy because we can drive them on the road down here in San Jose if we have the correct insurance on it, which we do. I've added mirrors to it, and I have changed out the tires because we wanted something that's going to be a little bit more road friendly. Changed those out for these BFG mud terrain TAs. Now you got to remember, the Honda Talon doesn't have it's got a spool in the back diff. So what's going to end up happening is when you're going around on paved roads, it's going to scuff the back tires a fair bit. So do expect that. It would be nice if it was an open diff with a lockable feature, or even a limited slip. It would make it a little bit more user friendly, but it doesn't, and that's the way it is. And it's built Honda tough, so I think breaking out CVs and that is not really going to be too much of a problem. Now another thing I did is I replaced the wheels with these fuel off-road wheels of the same diameter as the factory wheels. The difference is on the front it spaces the track out a little bit more. And the reason you want to do that is you want the front track about the same width as the rear track, because on the Hondas, when they come from the factory, they've got a heavy offset front wheel, so it puts a wheel in a fairway, and it can actually make them really unstable on the roads down here in San Jose. So what we do is we put these ones on, and they work a lot better. It tends to be a lot more stable on the Arroyos, which, as you can see here, you know, be ripping down here and ripping down here. 4-wheel drive, of course, we've already explained that. It's got pretty good brakes. The brakes are good. Headlights are okay. They're adjusted a little bit low at the moment. You can undo this, and that just gives you access to the stuff in here, which is not really much. I think the radiator's in there and the brake master cylinder is in there. The Fox live valve shocks here. I find the spring rate's pretty good. A lot of people complain, say they're too stiff. It's not too stiff. And as soon as you put a couple of people in the back as well, you're loading it up, and it's not really a problem. Now it comes with these safety nets. I think if I was driving around the streets and easy roads down here and that's all I was doing, I'd probably take the nets off. They're more of a pain in the butt than anything else. But for safety, off-road, well, you need them. So they're on there. Now, how does this thing go? It is friggin' phenomenal. The suspension is great. Like really, really good. You're coming up to stuff and you're expecting it to jolt you around or be jarring or it's gonna do something stupid. It just doesn't. It just rides great. You can just power through stuff that you unimaginable. I drive a Ford Raptor, a Gen 2 Ford Raptor, and you know what? It's pretty good. It's good on most of the stuff, but man, this thing just leaves it for dead. You can jump it. You don't even know you're jumping it. We're doing roads that have just got these massive launches where you're just doing 70, 80 kilometers an hour and just launching off from one to one. It's just crazy fun. Crazy fun. Just great. There's a little motor in there, twin cylinder, 999cc. Transfer cases back down there. When you're changing the oil, there's two oil drains right at the back of the motor, so be careful not to go and drain the one out of the transfer case while you're at it. It happens. You look at the book and the book says oil drain and then it's not, and yeah, anyway, built pretty tough, pretty simple suspension, but works really good. The exhaust is nice and quiet, so you don't have to worry about just waking everybody up. And this is a California one, so it's got some emission stuff on it apparently. What the emission stuff is, I have no idea. It doesn't seem to have a cat converter or anything. It's got a big muffler on it. As I say, the DSG transmission, dual clutch transmission, it is a godsend for these side-by-sides because honestly, side-by-sides with the belt, it's a waste of time. I talked to some guys that race down here with the RZRs and the CanAms, and one of them said that they replaced 3 belts in a race. Like, come on, that's ridiculous. 3 belts, that's just dumb. $100 a piece at least. Well, why? Up here is where the battery is. Battery's inside that box. The air filter's in behind this panel. You take this panel off and then it's got a cover for the airbox. Now, the airbox, and then it's got about 12 clips or something that you just unclip. That's pretty easy. And you take the cover off and the air filter just is then screwed in. So it's a lot of work, and it's crazy enough, it's screwed in on the air intake side. So if any of those screws ever come loose, they're going to rattle down and get into your motor. So I don't think that's a very good design. That's something that's I'll be a little bit wary on that. I don't know. Someone will invent a drop-in air filter for them, and the world will be saved. But I also added this Tusk spare wheel holder with the spare wheel up there. Works pretty good. Obviously don't have a rear view mirror, but I have side rear mirrors that do the trick pretty good. Tail lights with stop lights on them as well. No signals. People don't really use them down here, so I don't really care. Yeah, man, I tell you, you're going to go and buy a side-by-side. I wouldn't be considering one of the other ones. Not until they come out with a proper transmission. This is something else. It looks cool. The seating in the back's good because you can see over the people in front of you instead of sitting down real low. And this has a shorter wheelbase than a Can-Am or a RZR 4-seater as well. And they all run fairly similar suspensions. Dual stage springs on them. Some have live valves, some don't. This one was about 28 grand US, I think it is, with the live valve and all the everything paid on it. I just didn't pay the California tax because it was getting shipped straight out of California. So there it is, folks. Any questions, just ask. It's a really cool machine. It's fun. Till next time. Bye.